Many of you know that I love the Chase Sapphire Reserve, but I often get asked whether it's ever worth getting a Chase Sapphire Preferred instead. Is there any compelling reason why a person would opt to get the Sapphire Preferred over the Reserve card? Hey, how's it going everyone? It's Ernest from TripAstute. In this video, we're going to review reasons why it might be worth getting the Sapphire Preferred over the Reserve card. A few years ago, I did a video comparing the Chase Sapphire Reserve to the Sapphire Preferred, and I basically ran through the reasons why I chose the Reserve card over the Preferred card, and how it's provided us value year over year. Though during my card consultation sessions, I've often encountered situations where it makes more sense to get the Sapphire Preferred over the Reserve card. So I thought I would share my thoughts on it. I've heard some content creators in the credit card and personal finance space say that they feel that the Sapphire Preferred is an overrated card. But I think that there are specific reasons why you might choose to get it over the Reserve. In fact, I would argue that it might be more strategic to get the Sapphire Preferred over the Sapphire Reserve, and we'll cover why later in the video. But before we get started, if you're new here, welcome to our channel. TripAstute is a travel channel that is focused on sharing ways to make travel easier, affordable, and more enjoyable. Traveling can be stressful and expensive, so we're looking for ways to help you maximize your experience through travel tips, points and miles, and innovative gear. If that sounds interesting to you, please consider subscribing. So here are my top 9 reasons you might want to get the Sapphire Preferred over the Reserve card. Number 1, you don't want to pay a high annual fee. This is a huge one. The $450 annual fee on the Sapphire Reserve can be daunting to many people. While the annual fee is closer to $150 when you factor in the $300 travel credit, it can be hard to overlook the initial annual fee charge. If you find yourself in this situation, it might be better to get the Sapphire Preferred instead. You can always upgrade to the Reserve after the first year if you decide it provides more value. Number 2, you're new to the Chase Ultimate Rewards program. Another common reason why you might be inclined to get the Sapphire Preferred is that you're just starting out in the hobby. Like the previous reason, paying a $450 annual fee can be daunting, especially when you're not sure whether you're going to commit to the hobby. The Sapphire Preferred is a great starter card to get your feet wet, gain some significant travel benefits and protections, and of course, earn a large welcome offer that you can apply to an upcoming trip. Speaking of welcome offers, number 3, you want the higher welcome offer. Despite the fact that the Sapphire Reserve is Chase's premium travel card, it has a lower welcome offer than the Sapphire Preferred. As of October 2019, the Sapphire Preferred earns 60,000 points, while the Sapphire Reserve earns 50,000 points. While the difference is 10,000 points, it's actually worth the same when you compare the Chase Travel Portal redemption rates. Expanding on redemption rates, number 4, you plan to primarily transfer points to travel partners. The Sapphire Preferred redeems points on the portal at 1.25 cents instead of the 1.5 cents found on the Sapphire Reserve. It's a slight difference, but can make a difference if you use the travel portal often. On the other hand, if you primarily transfer points to travel partners like United, Southwest, or Hyatt, then there's no difference in redemption value. Most times you want to find the highest value possible, which means that you're looking to do a transfer to a travel partner rather than using the travel portal. Number 5, you're concerned about the high credit limit requirements. This is a real issue for a lot of folks. Even if you have a high credit score, it can be difficult to get a high credit limit if you don't have an extensive credit history. Since the Sapphire Reserve is a Visa Infinite product, it requires a minimum $10,000 credit limit for approval. The Sapphire Preferred, on the other hand, is a Visa Signature product, which means that the minimum credit line required is $5,000. For a lot of folks, this could be a strong reason to pursue the Sapphire Preferred over the Reserve card, especially if you're starting out in the hobby. Number 6, you already have a strong dining out card. One of the biggest disruptors in the points and miles hobby was the revamp of the American Express Gold Card in 2018. With the card offering 4 membership reward points per dollar for groceries and dining out, a lot of people have felt torn about which card to use for dining out purchases. I've struggled with this myself since I personally prefer Chase Ultimate Reward points, but I can't ignore that the American Express Gold earns more points for this category. This is where a Sapphire Preferred might be a better option than the Reserve card. If you only plan to use a Sapphire card for its travel category, then you might be better off getting the Sapphire Preferred. This is especially the case if you're only traveling a few times per year and don't need the extra benefits provided by the Reserve card. On the same note, number 7, your other cards have overlapping benefits. Many premium cards now offer benefits like lounge access, travel insurance, primary car rental coverage, and no foreign transaction fees. If that's the case, you might not need the extra travel benefits associated with the Reserve card. A perfect example is someone who might be heavily invested in the American Express Membership Rewards program, who is looking for a card with a bonus category for travel and also a Visa or MasterCard in case their American Express card isn't accepted. In this scenario, it probably makes more sense to get the Sapphire Preferred over the Reserve card. Number 8, you want to add authorized users. While I normally don't recommend that people add authorized users to their account, there are certain situations where you might want to do it. For example, you might have a young dependent in your household who is early in their credit experience who you want to add to your account. If this is the case, you'll likely prefer the Chase Sapphire Preferred over the Reserve card. The Sapphire Preferred does not charge a fee to add an authorized user, while the Sapphire Reserve costs $75 per user. Granted, you get extra benefits with the Sapphire Reserve, but for most people, that extra $75 is likely not worth it. And if they're able to take advantage of those extra benefits, it probably makes more sense to get them their own Sapphire Reserve card. And finally, number 9, you're looking to maximize household points. This is probably the most compelling reason to get a Sapphire Preferred over the Reserve card. A common scenario during my consultations is someone starting out in the points and miles hobby and looking to build their Chase card portfolio. If they have a spouse that's also interested in getting cards, it's often worth it to get the Sapphire Preferred over the Reserve. This is because once the person gets the Sapphire Preferred, they have the ability to refer others to apply as well. This means that their spouse gets their welcome offer and they get points for referring their partner. As of October 2019, you can get 15,000 points per Sapphire Preferred referral. However, you can't refer others to the Sapphire Preferred if you have the Sapphire Reserve. In fact, you can't even refer others to the Reserve card. So for many families, this is actually a very lucrative way to go and compelling reason to get the Sapphire Preferred over the Reserve. Also, you always have the option of upgrading your Sapphire Preferred to the Reserve card after your first year. For many households, this is a winning strategy since you can maximize the welcome offers. Lastly, there is one more thing that you should keep in mind. If you have the ability to get business cards, it might be worth looking into the Chase Inc. Business Preferred instead of a Sapphire Preferred. It qualifies as a premium card, so you'll get many of the same benefits that you get on the Sapphire Preferred and Reserve card. As of October 2019, it also has an 80,000 point welcome offer, which makes it a very lucrative card to get. While it's not my favorite business card, which in case you're wondering is the Chase Inc. Business Cash, it can serve as your premium Chase card. For those of you that are new to the hobby, you need at least one premium Chase card to get certain features unlocked in the Ultimate Rewards program, like the increased travel portal redemption rate and ability to transfer to travel partners. Without a premium card, your redemption options are limited. What do you think about the Chase Sapphire Preferred? Are there any other reasons for getting the card that I missed in my list? Please let me know in the comment section below. If you're interested in applying for a Sapphire Preferred or any other credit card, we would love it if you use our link in the video description or on our website. It's an easy way to support our channel, especially if you found our content to be valuable and helpful. Also, if you need any help with picking the right credit card or developing a card strategy, sign up for our free card consultation service. You basically fill out a questionnaire and schedule a 15-minute video or audio call with me to review your recommendation. As always, we hope you enjoyed the video and found it useful. If so, please give us a thumbs up and consider sharing the video with others. It really helps us with growing our channel and community. Until next time, travel safe and travel smart.